Imagine a universe where time, space, and even entropy are influenced by your very observation. A universe where the laws of physics don't determine every action of every particle in the universe, but a universe where particles are influenced by the observer. This is not a fantasy or a piece of science fiction, but a concept that arises from the entropic divide between quantum mechanics and general relativity. In the late 1960s, Stephen Hawking, George Ellis, and Roger Penrose extended Einstein's theory of general relativity to include measurements of time and space. They proposed that time and space had a finite beginning, corresponding to the origin of matter and energy. This groundbreaking work set the stage for a new understanding of our universe. Fast forward to 2020, Roger Penrose received half of the Nobel Prize in physics for proving that black hole formation is a robust prediction of Einstein's general theory of relativity. Moreover, by using the Bekenstein-Hawking formula for black hole entropy, Penrose calculated a staggering level of fine-tuning for the initial entropy of the universe at the Big Bang. He arrived at the number 1 to the 10 to the 10 to the 123rd power. This number is so staggering that in their 1996 book, The Nature of Space and Time, Hawking, an atheist, and Penrose, an agnostic, felt compelled to use the word creator to describe it. Specifically, they stated, the accuracy of the creator's aim would have had to be 10 to the 10 to the 123rd power. In addition, Penrose, in his 1989 book, The Emperor's New Mind, also stated that the singularities at black holes are totally chaotic. Kip Thorne, a Nobel laureate himself, has vividly described that total chaos within black holes. In his 1994 book, Black Holes and Time Warps, Kip Thorne states, Einstein's equation predicts that, as the astronaut reaches the singularity of the black hole, the tidal forces grow infinitely strong, and their chaotic oscillations become infinitely rapid. The astronaut dies and the atoms which his body is made become infinitely and chaotically distorted and mixed. And then, at the moment when everything becomes infinite, the tidal strengths, the oscillation frequencies, the distortions, and the mixing, spacetime ceases to exist. However, when we delve into the realm of quantum mechanics, we find a very different treatment of entropy than we do in general relativity. For instance, in the 2011 article titled Quantum Knowledge Cools Computers, it is stated, in measuring entropy, one should bear in mind that an object does not have a certain amount of entropy per se. Instead, an object's entropy is always dependent on the observer. As well, in a 2017 article titled The Quantum Thermodynamics Revolution, it is stated, 15 years ago we thought of entropy as a property of a thermodynamic system. Now, in quantum information theory, we wouldn't say entropy is a property of a system, but a property of an observer who describes a system. Furthermore, with what is termed the quantum Zeno effect, we also find that an unstable particle, if observed continuously, will never decay. This leads to an intriguing question for atheists. Why in blue blazes should the 1 in 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 123 finely tuned entropic actions of the universe, actions which also happen to explain time itself, even care if we are consciously observing or describing them, unless consciousness itself is more foundational to reality than entropy? To state the obvious, this finding in quantum mechanics of entropy being a property of an observer who describes a system is very much in line with a mind-first or theistic view of reality. For instance, Romans chapter 8 verses 20 and 21 states, "For the creation was subjected to frustration, not by its own choice, but by the will of the one who subjected it, in hope that the creation itself will be liberated from its bondage to decay and brought into the glorious freedom of the children of God." In conclusion, the journey through the entropic divide between quantum mechanics and general relativity leads us to a rather stunning realization, namely that the mind of God, or the Creator, as Penrose and Hawking themselves admitted, must have been responsible for the initial entropy of the universe, and that we humans, seemingly completely insignificant humans in this universe, are not just passive victims of the entropic actions of the universe, but that we humans have some measure of control, albeit small, over the entropic actions of the universe. These findings strongly suggest a theistic universe, a universe where the mind of God must be the source of all reality. One final note, these findings from general relativity and quantum mechanics really should not be all that surprising to learn about. After all definitions of reality that we may put forth all start with the fact that we are conscious of reality. As Max Planck himself stated in 1931, "No, I regard consciousness as fundamental. I regard matter as derivative from consciousness. We cannot get behind consciousness. Everything that we talk about, everything that we regard as existing postulates consciousness."